you might as well sit on the sideline.
You're a punk.
Yeah, you're a punk, man.
Punk out, stretch out, and don't do nothing. Just watch your mama get raped and beat.
Well, go to you, Jeffrey.
Absolutely. I think that's 100% agreement all across the board.
100%.
Just the way that he physically handled a young teenage African-American female adolescence was totally wrong. And I agree with Omar, and I think I said this last week after the show. Man, it really got me upset to where I got to asking the question, well, how come they didn't whoop that officer? It was enough people there to stand up for this young lady. And there was a missed opportunity to show they would have been just at doing that. They would have been totally 100% just because they are protecting somebody who was being handled almost, well, she wasn't detained, but it seemed like he was making it seem like he was about to detain her. But you can't detain somebody without cause, and if somebody is detained without cause, then the community has the right to stand up for that, the life of that individual, even if it comes to the death of the person who's trying to detain that person illegally. So that's the kind of consciousness and awareness of the law that we as African Americans have to know now in this day and age, because it's gone too far.
Consciousness and awareness, Jeffrey. What we hear, even some African Americans talking about stuff like this, we don't have all the facts. We don't know what happened leading up to that. Here's my position. I don't care. We're talking about the essence, the substance of the matter. That's what we're talking about. And this is the way, Jeffrey, is this the way in which our argument in the debate becomes diminished by sitting around and listening to these little sideline things about you don't know what happened, you don't know what they did? And you hear African Americans calling their parents mammy and pappy. I heard an African American and a talk show host thinking it was funny, calling them little animals and talking about you're right, we don't know all the facts. And this is the way, as an expert on this panel, we know better than that, and we know how to charge forward in that debate. Is that right, Jeffrey? That's important in terms of how we frame and phrase the debate going forward, connecting all of the dots. Is that right? I'm going to stop right there. Do we have a caller? Go ahead, Jeffrey. We'll go to the line.
All right, absolutely. Because we got to be able to see these patterns. The pattern is every time an incident such as this occurs, that's usually one of the first things that they say, we don't want to judge the situation until we get all the facts. Well, of course, that sounds logical, but like you said, we're looking at the essence of what happened here. From the very jump, if you look at it without all the facts, you know this young lady, he was dealing with this young lady a little bit too rough. And that way too rough. Okay. Way too rough. But I'll give you another example of these different phrases that they try to say to try to dull down the severity of these situations. They may also, you may hear things like, well, if they have just done what the police officer said. Well, what if what the police officer said was totally wrong? What if the police officer is totally wrong in his authority? We've gotten to a point to where we're so scared to where we as African Americans don't want to question authority. And authority is questionable, especially here in the United States in 2015 with everything that's been going on. Here since we got here, actually, the authority have been 100% questionable. And it continues to be questionable.
Caller, I'm coming right to you. Let me do a follow-up question with Jeffrey. Jeffrey, we're talking about patterns and practices and the white supremacists using this method of control to say that African Americans should just comply in every instance, sit on the curb while I handcuff you. Is that what we're talking about? And this is where the debate should be focused as we move forward into a plan of action. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct, because that comes along with us standing up for ourselves, is us questioning their authority, because their authority is unjust.
Absolutely. Questioning the white supremacist authority as it being unjust, and that takes us to what Dr. King and others have said. There are laws that are made to be broken. I want to go to the caller, but I want to come back to you, Jeffrey, on some of this sociological ingredients that we're talking about. Come on in, caller.
But Dolly, go ahead.
Yes. I want to say that when we talk about McKinley, you know, look at the, I don't know whether y'all talked about this, McKinley was the model city, or the model suburb in the United States, number one. A place where supposedly people would like to move because of the so-called diversity of the population. And I think that the figures was read something like 9% African, 21% Hispanic, 30% of Asian, and white, basically predominantly white. And when we look at the incident that this is a model community where everything seems to be statistically the perfect place to live. And supposedly, you know, these people are living together, they have all these rules and stuff in terms of the neighborhood and all that. Then we look at the situations where the African girl basically had, you know, rented the pool space, and they had all these other little rules and regulations. And then you had, it was advertised, and you had black teenagers who come into the space, and then you wonder that, you know, that the white neighbors were upset about the so-called numbers, and then there were other things that happened prior to the calling of the police, and then you see police rushing into a party of black teenagers. What do you think teenagers are going to do? They see a bunch of police, and it looks like they were Euro-American police, white police, and they were trying to get away. They were trying to do what normal people would do. So we see police, white police, coming in, you know, in their regalia, their weapons and everything. And then you see a situation, then this thing about the black girl and the police, and then you make that an isolated incident. Now, it's a systematic, institutionalized response to what we call white supremacy, that they do these things to terrify and make fear, put fear in our people, and then they go to rationalize how they behave when they got in there, whether it was normal behavior. If we look throughout America, we see it all over the place. And this space of McKinley is just a little small spot of, you know, when you can see these things, and then you see the pretense of so-called diversity. You know, and the pretense of diversity is that it has to go to white normality. You see what I'm saying? And of the other so-called people of color are abnormality. And so therefore they have to play by white rules and white regulations. And so now you have this situation now where they got the spotlight on the most perfect place in America that people want to go and right outside of Dallas, of all places. Texas is one of the worst states in the United States for Africans. And you know, we got to begin to take those spectacles out, those rose-colored so-called spectacle laws, and understand that white supremacy is still alive and well, and it exists, and the power relation is still the same. Power relation has not changed. The property relations have not changed for Africans in America and other people of color in America.
Right. Thank you, Brother Fodali.
Not begin to look at these and analyze these things. And I heard the brothers talk about the media.
Let's get ready to move on. All right, Omar. Well, I didn't mean to be so abrupt with it. You got pretty long-winded. Omar, you seem to be familiar with, and then we're back to Talud after you. But anyway, you familiar with what he was talking about? the situation in McKinney. You knew about this model.
Yes. You know,
And how does that,
it's actually an artificial world.
it doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't exist anywhere on earth where you find white people in the majority. It doesn't happen. Everybody's playing a role of trying to be inside the model. It's like being in the Matrix. And you're under an illusion. You live under it. And you hope that you don't have to wake up. You either took the blue pill or the red pill, depending on which one you decide to take. But most of them take the blue pill and go to sleep. Because if you take the red pill, you're going to wake up and realize this is strictly an illusion because white supremacy is everywhere and it ain't going nowhere until you destroy it.
Okay. So one person who did extensive work on this imaginary thing that does not exist is Bonilla Silva. And he talks about, like Fodala said something about so-called diversity. It does not exist. Talu, this is something that African Americans are going to have to do, along with what he suggested. Learn how to see the imaginary lines and phrase the debate in a real way going forward, and conjunct with whatever you want to say.
Yeah, well, look, we just have to become men. It's really simple. I mean, it's just as simple as this. You have to become men. You have to protect the women and children with your lives. Okay, let me give you an example. Go ahead, Baruch.
Let me just make one point.
Yes, go ahead.
And I'm with you on that one. Think of what the policemen did. They told the black young men, the teenagers, to sit on the ground.
Yes.
They told the girls to leave.
Yes.
Because what they're doing is they're trying to separate the females from the males so they can attack the males. Criminalize them so they can get them out of there.
Right.
So that way they can't come together and do anything as a unit. But go ahead, Dr. Sue.
Yeah, let's see, look. Let's think about it. Let's think about it. Crispus Attucks, a black man, was the first person killed during the Revolutionary War. Do you know why? Because he defended a Caucasian woman who was being assaulted or accosted by a British troop, which is a cop. Okay? He died for that. Okay? And that brought about what we have today, America. Do we understand that? That America is because of Crispus Attucks sacrificing his life for a Caucasian woman who was accosted by a British policeman.
Okay.
Okay. The thing is, we have to do something that's very, very obvious and very relevant and prevalent. That is, we have to come together, decide how we're going to sacrifice our lives against these killer cops and white supremacists of today. Minister Louis Farrakhan is saying we need to come to Washington. We need to check this stuff out. We need to find out what's going on. He's the only black man in America that's saying we need to stand up and be men, address this situation. What is it that they're trying to get us to do? Okay, now, are we going to address it, or are we going to sit back and... Now, I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes I use very nice language. Sometimes I don't. Okay. Today I don't feel like using nice language. All right. So are we going to be punks or what? Are we going to wear dresses for these Caucasian racists, these killer cops, or are we going to keep wearing our pants and go in and take responsibility to protect our women and children?
That's a great question. I want to go to you, Lonnie. In this fight, should African American men and women fight side by side? It's on you.
For sure. And I like you said about Farrakhan.
Do you understand why I asked that question?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know, if we don't fight side by side, then we can be used against each other. You know, that's why I believe that's most definitely important. But I like you said, Farrakhan, he's standing up. He's trying to reach out to the young men. You know, I heard I think it was on June the 5th, June the 6th the other day. He was on Breakfast Club or Breakfast, whatever. The Breakfast Club, and you know, he was serious about trying to reach out to the young black men for us to, you know, no more you know, sitting back. You know, you have one life. You know, and if you're not willing to die for, you know, one another, then you know it's almost in vain, because you know you are then allowing your oppressor to, you know, do what he do. So, but you know, as just listening to the message, you know, one thing he said was, you know, when he had called for the Million Man March, you know, he said what, nearly 2 million showed up, you know, and that was one of the largest gathering of the black man, a peaceful gathering, you know, in the world, you know, and I was thinking, I was like, you know, I wonder if he called this time 2-3 million, you know, and double that. We'll show. I know we'll show, but that's what we're gonna have to do. And that's not only will be a symbol, because you know, anytime we stand like that, you know that's putting a tremble in somebody's heart. You know, that's like, you know.
Yeah, when you say we, you mean we as an African American standing together in unity.
In unity.
Right.
It's important, and it has to happen. And
yes.
I really do hope, you know, a leader like that calls or call for, you know, for a symbol like that, you know.
Yes. African Americans, men and women, facing the same issues. So logically, to me, that means the children as well. So if that's not a call for unity, then a need for unity, then I don't know what is. Omar, in terms of talking about a solution, is it important to talk about, when I say putting our money and lives on the line, is it important to talk about coming together, as you've said, to fix our problem, raising funds, to hire lawyers and make it a national endeavor? Raising funds, hiring lawyers, and throw in there and talk about the importance of us investing our money as well in cameras and establishing our own independent media while we hire these lawyers and be ready to go and go to court. Come on, Omar.
You know, I have been an advocate for a long time with body cameras, but I'm about to change my view a little bit, because they had cameras on Eric Garner when he was choked to death, saying, "I can't breathe."
Mm-hmm.
And they've had cameras on other police officers who have also been exonerated.
Mm-hmm.
They even have eyewitnesses, like in the case where the police officer got on top of the hood of the car and shot down through the front windshield of the car.
Didn't that happen here in Memphis?
No, it was in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, yeah, the man and the woman.
Yeah.
Well, something here did happen, something like they did have here happened here in Memphis on Jackson and Watkins. But go ahead.
The city of Cleveland gave the families of those two victims several $1 million for wrongful death. But the police officer walked away. So if it was a wrongful death committed by the police officer, then he should be tried as a murderer. Obviously, if you paid money, that means you made some kind of restitution. So yeah, we do need cameras, but we need justice with the camera. And if we ain't getting justice, the camera ain't worth a damn.
Okay. So how do you think that should unfold? You're sort of shifting positions, and how should it unfold relative to your statement about justice? How should that fight, the next step of that fight be, in your view?
In my view, when a person is killed by a police officer, if they don't, if it's justifiable, they must prove it's justifiable. In this country, the number one group that's killed by police officers is young black male, but the second highest group is people who are mentally challenged. Mm-hmm. You call because somebody who was on medication didn't take it, and then he's acting erratic, and then when the police show up, he becomes a murder victim. Mm-hmm. That should not exist. Mm-hmm. In England, they have no deaths from that last year and the year before. You're not allowed to use a lethal weapon on a person that's mentally incompetent. All you can do is tase them. Even if they got a gun, you can't use no weapon on them. Okay. In America, you use deadly force on anybody. That's always the answer, is kill them, shoot them. We shouldn't allow that here either.
Okay. How do we stop it?
How do we stop it?
Yes.
We have to change the way policing is done. Okay. There is no more community policing. Like that guy that did the flip on the ground.
Let's talk about him.
Ex-military. All uncalled.
You talking about Case Ball?
Case Ball. Uncalled for. He's just doing it.
Yeah.
That's the dramatic effect.
Yes.
Telling the children to sit down, handcuffing them with zip cups. Just doing it. What did they do? They weren't even at the pool party. Some of them were just walking down the street. So what was that for? Just because he got the power to do it. That's not community policing. That's a military assault on private citizens. That needs to end. He should have been fired just for that. If he didn't touch the girl, he should have been fired for that. But we don't do that. White folks feel like their